Hello, algebra children. Welcome to our last lesson in chapter 4. Today we are talking about arithmetic sequences. All right, so when we see a list or a pattern of things, like this one is specifically time and distance, and as we see, these two are related. This is a sequence, and a sequence is a list of numbers that may form a pattern. So sequence is a list of numbers that may form a pattern. So we're looking here, we have a pattern. 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 10, or 1.0, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8. It's a pattern. It's repeating itself in a pattern form every time. Okay, so this is a sequence. Now a term is a number in a sequence. So each value in this sequence, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, those are all terms. Each one of those is terms, and this list can go on forever and ever and ever because we know the pattern, and so we can know that these terms are going to be repeating themselves over and over and over again. All right. Now, specifically in arithmetic sequence, this is a sequence that differs by the same non-zero number. And the same non-zero number, which we call D. So that is the difference. It's how much is differing every time. And that non-zero number is the common difference. This is the differing values. So however much is differing is the common difference. So to be an arithmetic sequence, it has to have a common difference. And difference is involving specifically here adding or subtracting. So we want to make sure that we're going up or down by the same amount if we were to add or subtract each time. So if we were to check this, from 0.2 to 0.4, we go plus 0.2. From 0.4 to 0.6, plus 0.2, plus 0.2, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. Forever and ever, we are adding 0.2. This right here would be the common difference, and because it has a common difference, it is an arithmetic sequence. All right, that was a lot of notes in the first 3.5 minutes. Go ahead and pause this. Make sure you have all that information. Rewind if you need to. Make sure that you are ready to move on because we're going to continue to be talking about arithmetic sequences. All right, so as we're moving on here, I'm going to keep this table because I like this sequence. We're going to say we're going to have two main goals today. Our first goal is finding a term of an arithmetic sequence. Whoa. Term of an arithmetic sequence. I'm just going to do that as AS because I don't want to write out arithmetic sequence every time. Finding a term. To find a term in an arithmetic sequence, we use the formula AN equals AN minus 1 plus D. And I bet you're very confused by that, but that's okay. I'm actually going to make this yellow because it matches with our definition from earlier. Okay, an equals an minus 1 plus d. So if I were to say, all right, this first term here is 0.2. The term 1, is 0.2. Term 2 would be 0.4. Term 3 would be 0.6, and so on and so forth. If I want to find term 10, I would say, all right, I want to know the value of this n here is any term I want. So I'm going to say I want the value of a10. I want to know what a10 equals. Well, a10 equals a 10 minus 1, so whatever 10 minus 1 is, or term 9 plus our common difference, which is 0.2. And what did we say over on our list? Term 9 is 1.8. So we're taking the term from before the term we're looking for. So this n minus 1 means the term before the term we really want. We really want term n. So to find it, we could take the term before it, n minus 1, and add that difference. So we take term 9, 1.8, and add that difference, 0.2, and we get our value of term 10 is 2.0. Okay, that could be confusing. Basically, you should all know this. You're going to be continuing the pattern by adding your common difference each time. This one has a formula technically, but the formula is saying add the common difference each time. We're going to talk more about how this can look in different terms in a little bit. All right, let's say I had this term here. Let's say I had this sequence here. Let's say I had the sequence 1, 4, 9, 16. Is this an arithmetic sequence? Well, to figure that out, we want to find the common difference. From 1 to 4, I add 3. From 4 to 9, I add 5. From 9 to 16, I add 7. This is not an arithmetic sequence. I don't have a common difference. My difference is changing each time. So I don't have a common difference, so it's not an arithmetic sequence. Okay, I have to have these numbers that are changing be the same every time in order for it to be an arithmetic sequence. What if I had 3, 5, 7, 9? Is this an arithmetic sequence? Well, let's check our differences. 3 to 5, we add 2. 5 to 7, we add 2. 7 to 9, we add 2. Yes, I have a common difference of adding 2. This is an arithmetic sequence. Now, what if I said I want the 15th term of this sequence? I want the 15th term of this sequence. But I don't want you to write out 15 different terms. Okay, don't write out 15 terms. We are going to figure out how to get the 15th term using math, because it's math class, and we do math. All right, so let's see. All right, term 1, I'll make a little table here. Term 1 is 3, and so we're going to call that term 1. Okay, term 1 is 3, right? That's our first term, and term 1 is a 1. All right, term 2, to get to term 2, which is 5, we took our first term and we added one of our common difference. Okay, to get to our first term, or our second term, we took our first term and added one of our common difference, and that equals 5. Okay, if we were to write this out as algebra, we would say we took term 1, A1, and we added one common difference. Okay? Now you're going to keep following along, see if you can get the pattern we have going on here. All right, there we go. All right, term 3, we took our starting term and we added 2 of our common difference. Whoops, parentheses in the wrong spot there. We added 2 of our common difference to get 7, right? Because 3 plus 2 times 2 is 4, 3 plus 4 is 7. So this was term 1 plus 2 times the common difference. Term 4, we took our starting term and we added 3 of our common difference, which is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. This was A1 plus 3D. Okay, this is getting confusing. This is how I'm going to show you how to justify our next formula, and definitely something you're going to want to write down here. Okay, so our formula is going to be justified by saying any term, to find any term, find any term in an arithmetic sequence. We want to take, so any term, so A of any term, we want to take our first term, A1, we're going to add that to the term we're looking for, minus 1 times D. Okay? We're going to take this formula here to find any term in an arithmetic sequence. If you look back, we have term 4, we timesed our D by 3. Terms 3 times it by 2, terms 2 times it by 1, and there was none, but we technically could have said plus 0 times 2. Term 1, our common difference was 0. Okay, so every time we want to find a term, we're going to subtract one from that term we're looking for, times it by our common difference, and add it to our starting term. Okay, so if we have the 15th term here, A15, this is A1, we know is our first term. Our first term is 3, plus n, which is 15, minus 1 times 2. 15 minus 1 is 14. 14 times 2 is 28, and 3 plus 28 is 31. Our 15th term would be 31. Now, it's not going to take you this long to solve any random term. You don't need to do this every time. That was just to show you that this works. Okay, this works because we proved it up here. So this is what you need to know. Okay, you need to know that right there. So if I were to say something like, all right, I have a term that is 5, 2, -1, -4, and I want the 22nd term. I would say, all right, well, let's look for a couple things. Let's find my common difference. 5 to 2, we do -3, -3, -3. Difference is -3. All right, whoops. And now I want to take this information, plug it into my formula. I take this and I take this, plug it into my formula. Go with a nice purple. A of my 22nd term equals my first term, which is 5, plus 22 minus 1, right? I want the 22nd term, so I want one less, times -3. Okay, let's start solving these things out. 22 minus 1 is not 22. It's 21. 21 times -3 is -63. And 5 plus -63 is -58. And there is my answer. -58 is the 22nd term of our arithmetic sequence. All right, before I end, I want you all to find the term of the sequence I tell you. Here's our sequence, 11, 5, -1, -7. Here's our sequence. I want the 60th term. Good luck. See all of you very soon.